One meeting just saved the whole crypto market.
More breaking news coming in. This is with regards to the meeting that took place between President Donald Trump and Xi Jinping.
Trump and Xi ended the trade war. Hi, I'm Dan from BeAWhale, and here's everything that happened this week. Alright, let's start with the bombshell. Visa just announced support for 4 new stablecoins across 4 different blockchains. They didn't say which ones, but here's what matters. Visa is building tools that let banks mint and burn their own stablecoins. Think about that. Banks can now issue stablecoins on Visa's infrastructure, the same way they issue credit cards.
We've been enabling people to issue Visa credentials on top of stablecoins. We've been modernizing our own settlement infrastructure with stablecoins. And we have a whole host of innovations that we plan to deploy around the world embracing stablecoins.
This isn't Visa accepting crypto. This is Visa becoming the back end for every bank that wants to get into stablecoins. On the other hand, Mastercard just said, we're not building this ourselves, and decided to buy it instead. They're in talks to acquire Zerohash for up to $2 billion. What does Zerohash do? They're the plumbing behind tokenized assets. When BlackRock tokenizes a fund, when Franklin Templeton builds an asset on blockchain, Zerohash makes that work.
And effectively, we have to be licensed as a money transmitter. And so effectively what we do is we are really strong technology which allows high throughput transactions, whether that's buying and selling crypto, whether that's using it as a transaction mechanism, using that as a deposit and withdrawal mechanism on chain. And we provide the APIs to enable groups to embed that infrastructure and build products on top.
Mastercard wants that technology. Although, here's the twist. They also tried to buy another company called BVNK for $2 billion. But Coinbase swooped in and outbid them. So now we've got Visa building stablecoin tools in-house, Mastercard trying to buy their way in, and Coinbase competing with both of them. Western Union, you know, the place your grandma sends money internationally, just went full crypto. They're launching their own stablecoin on Solana. Western Union moves $150 billion a year from 150 million customers across over 200 countries. That's a massive scale. Now think about this. They looked at every blockchain out there and picked Solana. Why? Because when you're moving money for 150 million people, you need speed and low fees. Ethereum's too expensive, Bitcoin's too slow, but Solana can handle it.
If you're Western Union and you're already moving $100 billion a year across borders, picking a partner that does exactly that, fast, efficient, stable, and secure, is really, really important. And so we went and looked at most of the other alternatives and came to the conclusion for an institutional use case like ours, the Solana blockchain was the right choice for us.
This isn't some crypto startup. This is a 175-year-old company choosing blockchain over the banks they've worked with for over a century. Coinbase just posted earnings, and they're doing the MicroStrategy playbook. They just bought another $300 million worth of Bitcoin. They now hold over $1.5 billion in Bitcoin. But here's what's really happening. Coinbase isn't just an exchange anymore. They're becoming infrastructure. Their revenue? $1.9 billion this quarter, up 55%. And get this, 80% of their trading volume comes from institutions, not retail. Big money is here. Banks, hedge funds, asset managers, they're all using Coinbase. And they just launched something called Flash blocks on their base network. Transactions confirm in 200 milliseconds. That's instant, faster than your credit card. Coinbase is playing the long game. Stack Bitcoin, build the pipes that everyone uses, and become irreplaceable. Alright, here's the story everyone's been waiting for. 3 weeks ago, Trump woke up and decided to slap 100% tariffs on China. That means if a product costs $100, it now costs $200 overnight. What happened? Bitcoin crashed from $121,000 to $103,000. $20 billion liquidated across the entire crypto market. People lost everything. Exchanges couldn't handle the volume. It was chaos. For 3 weeks, everyone's freaking out. Is this the start of a global economic war? Are we heading into a recession? Then, Thursday happens. Trump and Xi met face-to-face in South Korea, and Trump comes out smiling.
I think we've already agreed to a lot of things, and we'll agree to some more right now. But President Xi is a great leader of a great country, and I think we're going to have a fantastic relationship for a long period of time. And it's an honor to have you with us. Thank you very much.
Markets exploded. Bitcoin bounced back, altcoins pumped. The fear that had been crushing everything, gone. Here's what they agreed to. US won't do another 100% tariff. China eases restrictions on rare earth minerals, and trade war cools down. And crypto? The moment fear lifted, money came flooding back. This is why macro matters. Trump and Xi shaking hands in South Korea directly impacts whether crypto goes up or down. Wall Street saw this coming, and that's why they moved so aggressively this week. Here's a name you've probably never heard of that's about to change everything. Securitize. They're going public at a $1.25 billion valuation. What do? They take real-world stuff, real estate, private equity, bonds, and put it on blockchain. That's called tokenization in short. Remember when BlackRock launched that build fund everyone talked about? Securitize built it. Here's why it matters. Right now, if you want to invest in a private equity fund, you need millions of dollars and the right connections. Tokenization changes that. Break the fund into tokens, and now everyone can buy a piece. And Securitize is the company doing exactly this for BlackRock, ARK Investment, and Morgan Stanley. So now they're going public on Nasdaq, which means you can invest in the company that's been tokenizing everything left and right. Circle, the company behind USDC, just launched something huge. They built a brand new blockchain called ARK, and they got over 100 of the biggest companies in the world to test it. We're talking BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, Visa, Mastercard, Deutsche Bank, institutions that manage trillions of dollars. Why would Circle build their own blockchain? Because they got tired of playing by everyone else's rules. On ARK, USDC is the money. You pay transaction fees in USDC. You settle trades in USDC. Everything runs on dollars, and it's fast. Transactions confirm in under a second. So here's the vision. Every country gets their own stablecoin on ARK. Japan has theirs, Brazil has theirs, Mexico has theirs, all connected on one network. Circle isn't competing with Ethereum and Solana. They're building the global payment system that sits underneath everything else. This is how traditional finance moves to blockchain. Not by buying Bitcoin, by building infrastructure that makes the old system faster. Privacy coins are going crazy. Zcash hit an 8-year high and just became the biggest privacy coin at $6.2 billion valuation, overtaking Monero. BitMEX founder Arthur Hayes thinks it could hit $10,000 a coin. Privacy is finally having a moment. JPMorgan just put a private equity fund on blockchain and is selling it to their wealthy clients. Real estate and private credit are next. The biggest bank in America is tokenizing everything. Grayscale and Bitwise both launched Solana ETFs this week, with $325 million combined. First day trading, another $69 million poured in. Nice. Now everyone can buy Solana in their retirement account. Trump and Xi shook hands. Fear evaporated, markets exploded, and Wall Street They used that moment to go all in on crypto infrastructure. This isn't crypto trying to break into finance anymore. This is finance rebuilding itself on blockchain. If you like this recap, smash like, subscribe, and I'll see you next week.